What's good with y'all boys, man? I'm back with another video, bro. Now look, as you know, last chapter we left off with Garp and Aokiji, man, on Hachino Shoe Pirate Island, whatever you want to call it, bro. But the final panel did end up being announcing that we are going back to Egghead Island next chapter, and y'all know the next chapter is about to come out in like maybe 4 days or something like that. So we finna talk about some 1089 predictions, man. Lock in, sub a bit if you new, and let's get straight into the video, bro. So look, as we all know, bro, it has been a minute since we've seen the Straw Hats and majority of our main cast, a lot of our favorite characters. You know what I'm saying? The last chapter we seen them was 1078. Now let's just do a quick little recap on where everybody was at and what was the last thing we seen before we get into the predictions of what could be happening for the next chapter. Cause like Oda said, we're gonna be cutting back to Egghead, so he's probably gonna be deviating a lot of the focus back on this island for the most part, at least for the next 2 chapters, probably, right? So 1078, we were starting off, we were just cutting away, doing quick cutaways to seeing where everybody was at. Jinbei was with Stussy. They were in building 2F, building B. They were talking to Sentamaru. Sentamaru was moving around as well. We can't forget Sentamaru. Usopp, Lilith, and Frankie were all turned to stone. They were in building they were in research area 3F, building C. Frankie was like still half stone. I almost forgot about that. I'm scrolling through the chapter as I talk to y'all because it's been a minute since we've read this chapter. And let's see where, and okay, yeah, Atlas, Chopper, and Robin were in building A, 2F, and then at the end of the chapter, no, it cut to Sanji. I'm my fault. It cut to Sanji fighting Jinbei Seraphim, that's where he was, and then Zoro and Luffy fighting their Seraphims, and then with Lucci and Kaku, and then it cuts to Bonnie crying, because we can't forget about Bonnie, because she's probably going to be important. Then it cuts to Kizaru and all them showing up, and the chapter ends off with York and Vegapunk, right? So therefore, we just have a quick recap of where everybody's at and what's going on here. Now, just like in 1078, how we just went over how he cut to where all the Straw Hats was in the span of a chapter, in the span of one chapter, just going from page to page, just differentiating where each Straw Hat is. I feel like this chapter might be something similar to that, but certain Straw Hats could get more focused. The focus in the chapter depending on what Oda wants to do, you know what I mean? Because none of us knows what he wants to do. That's why this is called a prediction video. But I'm pretty sure we are all gonna get an update of where everybody is, right? Now the real question is, what are the Straw Hats gonna be doing? Because like I said, this has been a minute since we've read this chapter. So how are we gonna feel if Zoro and Luffy are still fighting those Seraphim? If what else? If Frankie and all of them are still turned to stone, right? So I feel like we're gonna get the quick little update. Probably gonna see Zoro and them still fighting. We're probably gonna see Robin, Chopper, and Atlas heading to where they're gonna be headed. And I hope and pray that the chapter has some Bonnie Kuma dialogue in it. I feel like since we're cutting back to Egghead, we're probably gonna start getting the Bonnie and Kuma flashback and start figuring out what's going on there in this relationship Kuma had with the government and why that he was targeted like the way he was, right? And honest to God, I genuinely feel like this chapter that Robin, Atlas, and Chopper are going to be important as far as figuring out where York was. Because if you go back and read 1078, right? Atlas says she thinks she knows where something's going on at. I don't think these are the exact words because I'm reading the chapter right now as I'm talking to you, right? It says, come to think of it, there was one lab that was used and is now sealed off. I don't think anyone would have any use for that place though. Let's check it out. And I'm pretty sure she's talking about where York is. So I hope this chapter, maybe these three might get some focus here and busting in on York and seeing what's going on with Vegapunk. Also, I do hope we get some dialogue between York and Vegapunk. The only words we heard her say was that she wants to be a celestial dragon. So hopefully we get a little. Of course, this chapter we're probably not going to get hella dialogue from anybody because this is like going to be somewhat probably of a recap chapter. I hope Oda still manages to give us, some goated info as far as just to progress the story and progress people's thoughts on certain theories out there and stuff like that. Stuff we just been wanting to know. Like, y'all know Oda does a lot of little stuff that could tie into a lot of big shit out of nowhere. So hopefully we get some of that in some way, shape, or form. Now, another thing that I have not talked about yet that we still have to get to, bro, is the Blackbeard pirates. Right now, we know that there are Blackbeard pirates coming to Egghead, man, because we synced it in chapter, I'm not sure what chapter that was. I want to say 1079 or 1080. I want to say it was, right? No, in 1079 we see it. Yeah, because this is the chapter where York is over here, you know, revealing her plan and everything. So this is when we see the Blackbeard pirates pulling up. I feel like at the end of this chapter, we could potentially end off this chapter with the Blackbeard pirates being revealed of who are the ones coming on this island. Not saying they have to start fighting anybody or anything this chapter, but it could just be revealed who they are, or we could get more hints to what it is. I hope so, but Oda could save this. Y'all know he loves saving stuff. But if anything, an introduction that we are guaranteed to probably get this chapter, whether it's in the middle, beginning, or end, is the Marines. Kizaru and Saturn are still arriving on this island, and as we can see in 1088, the battleships was surrounding Egghead, and it's been a minute. So this chapter, we should definitely see them stepping on the island and seeing what the hell they're about to get into. Also, this might be kind of out there. I know, like, back when the chapter first came out, like a minute ago, I had said this. I don't know if a lot of other people were saying this, but bro, I don't know why. Especially because I was rereading the chapter, like making this video, because I had to go back and look at what was going on with Egghead, bro. The more I think about it, and after rereading it again and seeing what York is saying, right? Because put it like this. Ever since we went on this hiatus from Egghead, the last thing we heard York say was like how she wanted to be a celestial dragon, right? And then we got the reveal of how her plan went and how she manipulated the Seraphim. And then we started getting into the Emu Gorosei celestial dragon holy night, holy land type of shit, right? And that was right after York talked about how she wanted to be a celestial. And then right after we get all that information, we get information that Blackbeard wants to be a king. What are Emu and the Gorosei and Celestial Dragons viewed as to normal motherfuckers in the world? They're viewed as kings, basically. Even though we know Emu is the one true king, regular people still look at Celestial Dragons like kings because they can do whatever they want. I don't know why, bro, but just hearing the fact of how Blackbeard wants to be king, and just thinking about that with the York shit and how Blackbeard Pirates is coming up right after, like, York got done saying this and her plan is starting, I still feel like York and Blackbeard could possibly team up, my nigga. I don't know why. It just sounds like it makes so much sense in my head, but I could be wrong. Let me know what y'all think. If that does end up being happen, we have to come back to these videos I made, because this is probably my second time talking about this on camera. Because I feel like they got so much to gain off of each other. Like, Blackbeard is a nigga who, like he said, he don't even, like, we not friends, man. We're just a group of people who can all benefit from each other. And York can benefit off Blackbeard, because if York want to become a celestial dragon and Blackbeard want to become king, York already got the brains and the fucking technology to build shit. Blackbeard already a smart nigga by himself. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like them two together teaming up could be very disgusting. Cause think about it, right? We all think Kuzan's probably gonna not be there when it's time to fight the Blackbeard pirates. Like, what if he joins, fucking York joins Blackbeard, and then he gets some Seraphim under his control. So now that's different enemies to fill in for the Aokiji shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Also, let me know, like, should I drop an Aokiji video? Please drop that in the comments below, because I've been thinking about dropping an Aokiji video, just discussing what his role finna be in the final saga, but I don't know if I should drop it or not. Honestly, I don't know if it's really too late for me to do that. Niggas probably gonna say it's not too late, but it is what it is. But yeah, man, for the most part, I feel like this chapter, we're going to get recaps of where the Straw Hats are. 100% going to get recaps of where, we should get a recap of where every single Straw Hat is 100%. Because that should be some quick shit he was able to do. Then we should see Marines arriving in the beginning, middle, or end. And I hope we get, maybe the chapter ends off, like the very last panel, or like the very last couple panel is like the start of the dialogue between the Bonnie and Kuma flashback, because I feel like that's going to be some important shit we get into too, because like I said, we just got done dealing with a lot of Holy Land, Marine, government shit, and you know, Kuma still has relation to that as well. Because we also have to figure out why the government was hunting Bonnie too, because remember when Akainu was looking for her ass and he said she escaped. So we still have to figure out a lot of shit here. But yeah, like I said, I'm expecting Straw Hat recaps this chapter, Marines arriving, potential Blackbeard pirate reveals, and potential, you know what I'm saying, Bonnie and Kuma backstory roll out here, man. Also, as I'm editing the video, I forgot to mention, we also still need to figure out if Shaka is dead or not. Because remember, Shaka got shot by York. So maybe we might see Shaka make a move this chapter, whether it's getting up or some other people are discovering and confirming if he's dead or alive or not. Can't forget about Shaka. Because remember, he was talking to Dragon at the beginning of this arc, talking about he's going to die. So I feel like that could still play a role in it too. We still could see Dragon show up in this Egghead saga, Egghead arc. You know, whether he shows up for the Garp shit or shows up for this shit and here at Egghead, who knows? But yeah, hopefully we get some of this stuff. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, man. Let me know if I should drop that Aokiji video. Y'all know I'm gonna be here for the first day right when the chapter drops, man. Expect a fraud video too soon as well, bro, and possibly that Aokiji video too. I love y'all boys, and I'm out, man.